All right, good morning. Before we begin with this meeting, please make sure that your closed captioning is turned on. Good morning and welcome for this Transition IEP meeting for Emma Sinclair. My name is Samantha Wojcicki. I am Emma's ninth grade Algebra 1 teacher, and I just want to take a second to thank everybody for being here today, especially for Emma and her family who are here to support Emma in succeeding in her future goals and dreams. So let's just recap a little bit about Emma, as this information is important when we discuss her goals and her future and her progress later in this presentation. So Emma is a high school freshman, and this is her Algebra 1 class. So Emma was diagnosed with dyslexia back in sixth grade. And so her team has been working with her and her parents since then to try to help her in the classroom. And so that is why we are here today, to continue to help her in the classroom. So some of the things that Emma has shared with me in the classroom before and after class is that she really loves art and she really loves fashion. She expressed her desire to pursue a career in fashion design and fashion marketing, which is brilliant, especially because she loves art and she loves drawing and designing outfits. So I think this is perfect for her. And I also think that as far as her marketing dreams go, we definitely need to lay a very good solid foundation in this algebra class, as anything to do with math is going to be based off of this class later. So in the classroom, some of Emma's strengths involve group activities and discussions. She's very active in the classroom. I've only seen her struggle with group discussions when it involves reading something and then explaining her thoughts on what was read. She also excels with different hands-on activities. So whether we're using manipulatives or the task involves using physical concrete items, she always excels with those. Anything hands-on and anything pertaining to group discussions. She also does really well with the electronic individual assignments like our Khan Academy software. So Khan Academy is a site that our school has partnered with for math education support. And so in Khan Academy, it's like mini lessons that are set up for each student to complete. But these are really great for Emma because it allows her to work at her own pace. So she can use the tools in Khan Academy to help her complete the assignments, and she doesn't have to go as fast as everybody else. And all of the students in the class really like Khan Academy because they can work at their own pace. It allows for her to monitor her own progress when completing different activities and different problems in the program. So some of the things that I noticed that Emma has struggled with in the classroom are staying organized, more specifically with regards to taking notes during lectures, and getting certain assignments turned in. I've noticed that if she doesn't manage to complete an assignment, she's a little more hesitant to turn it in. And as far as her notes, that's another thing that I've noticed that she struggles with is reading and following the lecture notes, both the on the board ones as a whole class and the handout sheets. And so when she has a hard time following the lecture notes, I've noticed that she has a hard time taking lecture notes, notes that are good enough for her to go back to and study from. And I've also noticed that her understanding of different word problem tasks is something that she also struggles with. And these word problem tasks typically involve real world situations. And we want the students, one of the goals for this algebra class is to connect as many of our topics back to the real world so they know where they would see this in the future. We get that question, when am I ever going to use this? And connecting what we're learning in class to the real world applications is that answer to that question. And to do that, they're usually involved in word problem tasks. So those are some things that I've noticed that she struggles with. And those are some things that we're hoping that these accommodations that we're putting in place will help her not struggle with those areas anymore. So the first accommodation that I'd like to talk about is the use of highlighters and colored pens that we've started using in the class. I have noticed a very big difference in Emma with her lecture notes when when she's using these highlighters and colored pens to take the notes. This allows her to color code her notes in such a way that when she goes to complete her homework and when she goes to complete her tests and quizzes, she can use the same color system that she's been using, and it helps her organize her thoughts more clearly. One of our favorite highlighters that we have discovered that work the best for Emma, and she's expressed that she really, really likes, are the gel highlighters because they don't bleed and they don't smear, which is great for her to use, especially with regards to her mathematics. It allows her to color code her notes, the math examples that are done in her notes, so that she can make her other classwork and her other homework assignments match the notes. It helps her stay organized that way. And we really like the Flare pens by Papermate because they don't bleed either and they don't smear. And that helps her when it comes to taking notes as well. Some other things that we've tried to implement in the classroom are our hands-on practices. And this is in coherence with the Universal Design for Learning, which is UDL. And this is something that we've implemented for the entire program. So this is not just my algebra class. This is not just the other Algebra 1 class. This is the entire mathematics department. We have tried to incorporate hands-on practices as much as possible. And the big one is through the use of manipulatives. We have started using physical manipulatives in the classroom that are helping the students build the concrete foundation for the abstract thinking. But it goes a little further than that because we also have the technological manipulatives or the virtual ones as well. And so the picture on the right that says figure 7, that one is actually from the Mathagon program, which is an online website for virtual manipulatives. So those are algebra tiles, which are what we use in the classroom. Those are the electronic version of them in the Mathagon program. So Mathagon is more than just algebra. It's all different types of math. So Emma is going to use Mathagon in a lot of her other classes in school. And it's great for helping her get that concrete foundation, something physically that she can manipulate that's not just numbers. And so the link to YouTube will actually take you to like a YouTube tutorial on these algebra tiles. So we're starting to encourage her to use the virtual manipulative at home because she might not have access to the other manipulatives, the physical, tangible ones. But because she has her computer and her laptop, she'll be able to access the Mathagon website. And we're also starting to incorporate the assistive technology in the classroom as well, specifically with the use of the digital reader pen and the immersive reader and text-to-speech options. So this is great for Emma, the digital reader pen. This allows her to run the reader pen over her notes or the handouts that we're giving her from our lecture notes. And the reader will read her what is being scanned. Or if there's a word she needs to have defined, it will define that word for her. So the reader pen is great because she can use it on her quizzes and tests as one of her accommodations. With the immersive reader, this is great for when I post assignments in Canvas that are electronic documents. So Canvas has immersive reader built into it, and essentially, immersive reader will take the text and it will read it to her. So it helps with that comprehension. And her textbook, because it's electronic, it has this option in there as well. So the links, YouTube will take you to, that link will take you to an immersive reader informational page that will actually explain immersive reader in action. And the Amazon link will take you in case you're looking to purchase a digital reader pen for her to use at home and to have a personal one. So I just want to take a second and look at Emma's progress. So we see that um, our average grades for each quarter are broken down into three specific categories: our class participation and our homework and our quizzes and tests. So we can see that her scores across the board were lower in quarter one before the accommodations were put into place. But after the accommodations were put into place, so by the end of quarter two, we saw an increase in her overall averages. So we see that she's participating all the time now. So now that she has the reader pen and her notes are more organized, she is able to read the documents that are being provided to her and answer questions about them. She's not struggling with that anymore. And so we want to continue to keep this momentum going. We see that now that she has access to Mathagom with these virtual manipulatives, her homework scores are improving as well. So our goal is to get her homework scores to continue to improve. So now she's not so afraid to turn in her assignments or hesitant to turn in her assignments because more of it's making sense. She's using those virtual manipulatives at home, which are allowing for her to complete her assignments more thoroughly. So we want to continue to keep that track going. We also see that her quizzes and test scores have increased as well through the use of having that digital reader pen and being able to color code her work. I don't have a problem reading her tests or quizzes if they're done in all sorts of different colors, as long as it's helping her complete the assignment. And with the reader pen, she's not struggling over specific words anymore. The pen will read her the word if she is having struggles reading those words. So our goals between now and the end of the year are looking at the end of course exam. We want her to get to that end of course exam and we want her to succeed on it. The next several math classes that she's going to be taking over the next couple of years, her geometry class, her algebra 2 class, they are all going to build on what she is learning in this class right now. So we want to see her continue to grow as a student so that she can pursue her dreams of fashion design and fashion marketing. As I mentioned at the beginning, fashion marketing, any marketing course that she would be interested in going in, it's all going to have this algebra as the foundation. The pre-calculus classes that she'll have to take, the calculus classes, they're all built in algebra basics. So we want to see her quizzes and test scores increase between now and the end of the year so that she is ready to take that end of course exam and she will have the best possible chance at passing it. So that is where we're looking to. And some ongoing strategies that I would like to work with you to have her complete are to encourage her to use these different accommodations in everyday activities. Encourage her to use Mathagon at home, not just for the math assignments, but maybe for her science assignments as well, because there's a lot of math in her science classes as well. Encourage her to color code her notes and her goals at home. Encourage her to use the reader pen and the immersive reader at home and in other assignments as well, and other everyday activities as well. I would like if you could help her review her grades and her assignments at the end of every week. I do my best to keep Canvas up to date by the end of the week and to have it up to date by the end of the week. If for some reason it is not up to date because I am behind on grading for whatever reason, I will let you know. I will also do my best to give you a recap of how she did each week regarding these different areas. If we had a big test that week, how did she do using her accommodations? My main concern is to get her homework turned in and completed and doing great on her homework assignments so that she will do even better on her quizzes and tests. And then if for any reason she is struggling with something at home, please reach out to me. I am here to help her succeed. I am here to work with you guys. I don't want anything to come between her and her future success. So please message me through Canvas or through my personal email account. I do my best to return all emails within 24 to 48 hours, depending on what else is going on as far as the class. But I am here to help her succeed. So I'm going to open up the floor for any questions that you may have regarding anything that we've discussed, or regarding Emma and her future success. But otherwise, I just want to express my thank you and my gratitude for your support in helping Emma succeed, because that is ultimately what we are here for. We are here to help her succeed. So thank you very much and have a good rest of your day.